And when he came to us, we started well, first of all, we had an x-ray. Just about every child we work with is seen by a doctor. He was already being seen by a doctor. We get a doctor who releases what. He was being seen by a doctor, and they x-rayed and they showed us. One hip was down here, the other hip was up here. So we knew that by making his legs even in something, one leg would get sort of better, the other one wouldn't. So we started to offset, and we started to watch for movement. Every few weeks he'd get x-rays. Guess what? They were going back. At a certain point where they were just about even, we started a movement where we were working his glutes, his butt muscles, his thigh muscles, and they pulled it. Now he's spastic. The damage has been done because through atrophy again, his tendons became stronger than his legs. So when he first came to us, if you picked him up, his legs would be in a circle. They're just like a tie strap. They just go like that. So we were able to teach him through muscle growth to be able to fight that sensation. We didn't make him perfect, but guess what? He ran in a walker. It was all in a walker. Ran in a 40-yard dash in Hanford, California, when he was in 6th grade. When he was in 8th grade or 7th grade, he walked out on stage at one of our concerts, and one of our big old supporters, a great big old cowboy, Jack Hanna, you might hear him on commercials and stuff. He says, "I don't know. Well, I don't know if I'll ever see Adam, walk, but Adam he touched my heart," and all of a sudden the crowd stood up, and here come Adam in his walker, walking up behind him. It was a drop the mic moment. That's about as cool as I can get right there. And Jack cried. Jack cried like a little baby, went up and gave him a hug, and it was over with for Jack that night. Then he walked across, got his 8th grade diploma to the cheers of all his 8th grade, and then as a sophomore was invited by a beautiful young lady to go to the senior prom. And it's enough to make this fat boy cry. It was amazing to see this transformation. I'm going to talk about one more child, and I don't think I have a picture. Oh, you know what? I am going to tell you about one adult. Go to the last page right here. You see that young lady in the middle? I can't tell you how many Fresno State students have sat and talked to her. Just sat down and talked to her. I want somebody to give me a guess how old you think she is. Really good. Come on, somebody. Huh?
32.
32? That's a good guess, huh? Come on, what do you think?
20. Early state and 20.
Okay, 20. Around 30. Anybody else?
26.
26. 30. She just turned 40. She has 2 degrees. One is in psychology. And when I found that out, then I knew why she looked at me so funny. And the other is she could be an attorney if she would. This lady can't use a pen. She can't walk. She's in a wheelchair. Needs 24-hour assistance. But as smart as a woman. So sometimes some of the volunteers will be having a hard day. On a Wednesday, I'll say, you know what, go talk to Tracy for a minute. And they go talk to Tracy, and they come back and go, geez, my problems aren't so big anymore. You know, this young lady, she survived everything that's been thrown in her face. So that's the one adult story. And then I'm going to tell you about a 17-year-old who just graduated high school. Now, we've been talking about physical stuff. Well, she was 10 years old when she came to the Heart of the Horse. She came with a group, and in that group, we noticed that she was the meanest little thing ever. She would cuss like a sailor. We found out in school she'd make friends with you, and then she would just cut you away and break your heart because she didn't want no one doing that to her. So she was missing something. She was missing a little common sense at the time, in a way. Her mom mom decided she did not want her no more. So she threw some alcohol on her, flicked a cigarette in their bassinet, and she burned for almost 4 hours before somebody came and put her out from the syringe while her mom was passed out drunk in the apartment. So Megan always had that on her mind. And what it did is she had heard the story so many times, it gave her post-traumatic stress, even though that happened when she was a baby. But when you hear so many times something horrible that happened to you, you start to actually live it in your mind. You might think, I remember that, even though you don't. So we started working with her. Physically, she was a gymnast. She surfed on her head. She was in, you watched the original Dolphin Tale? At the very end, she's the little girl with one leg going in with the dolphin. The guy that made her prosthesis was the guy that made the prosthesis for the, I almost said elephant. Oh my gosh, for the dolphin. And she always laughs at that movie now because she says her doctor is not this great big old guy played by Samuel L. Jackson. He's a little Vietnamese guy, and she just loves him to death. But now, she goes with me, and I've had her up with 1,000 people to get up and tell her story, and to get up and tell how part of the horses changed her life. I don't ever want her to make everything about us, because people need to know her story. She's going to be somebody one of these days. She's a very smart young lady. So, that being said, those are just some of the stories. And now I'm going to talk about how it works. So if I could get a couple volunteers, y'all got tennis shoes on, that's fine. I need a couple volunteers over here.
It's not hard, promise. He's really good at it. This is not his first rodeo.
First of all, who's never touched a horse? Anybody? All right, one of you two come out here. Come on. Some of you get paraded. And you two come. Yeah. Come on around. Okay. So, I want you on this side over here. Walk around the back. I want you on this side over here. And you right here with the teeth on it. Why don't you just hold that right there? One thing we never do is make loops and get our hands in there. I don't want you to lose a finger. So just right there. 2 hands. His name is Ben. Okay, go ahead, let go of that hand. And reach up there and just touch it. Just do it. Don't sneak up on it. Horses are, you guys get closer. Horses are closer to him, not me. Horses are food for tigers and lions and bears. They sense it when something is sneaking up on them. So if I start doing this, they're like, what the heck's going on? But if I do this, it's a little more relaxed. Now we're not going to get spastic and jump all over them. But yeah, go ahead and pet him. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab that end with that hand and turn it upside down like you got an ice cream in your hand. Let go of that and come back here with me. Let go of that and tell me, stand. Go ahead and back up a little bit. Now, you guys get closer. He steps on your feet, it's his fault. So I want you to grab the rope and just give a little pull and climb. Whoa, he's going to get a little disturbed by that little horse over here. He's going to pull him over like this guy. So, it's all about movement. You guys are responsible for that rider. She is responsible for the horse, to make sure that the horse listens. And the reason I'm using her, and because she's never really been around horses, we're going to show how easy this is. So what I want you to do is walk backwards. Hang on, don't do it yet. Go down by the side of the truck, make a U-turn, and come back right here. And you ladies stay right by shoulders. Go ahead, take it. down, and I want you to just stop your feet. Stop. See what he does? He stops. Now make him stand and get back out there a little ways. Uh-huh. Now make him go. And start going around. Start turning. There you go. He's going to look right now. He's in a strange place. Has anyone got any total step down? Okay, go ahead and stop. Whoa. All right. I will never put you out like we just did her with one of our children on the back. But I will put you out like I did her with another volunteer on the back. And this is how we're going to learn to do the horse therapy. Let me, can we use your backpack? Is there a computer or anything?
No,
anything?
not right now.
Okay. Hand it over. Okay, thank you. So, this is a child. We're going to put it this way. You get this strap, you're going to hold it right there. You're not going to let this child fall this way. You get this strap up. And the object is, you're supporting now. Take your hand out of there. Just grab it right here. Grab it and hold that right there. Don't support it. Balance it. Okay? If I'm teaching you to be better and I hold you the whole time, you're not going to get better because you're not moving. I'm supporting you. So you guys are going to learn to support without really doing a lot. If it starts to come down, then you'll reach over with this hand and just kind of balance for a second. Good thing. Okay? All right, go ahead and move your horse. Watch your backpack. And you can guide his head over. Walk off at it. And make him stop. Okay. But do you see how that feels? Some of these kids are like carrying a backpack or a bag of potatoes. And how do you make a backpack or a bag of potatoes stronger? You don't. But with a child who has muscle mass that is weighing, that is not well, with the movement of the horse, we can do that. So I'm going to have you just hold on to that horse. You guys stay right there. And I'm going to tell you about the different types of horses we use. We use the Pasifina, which is a Spanish breed. They're a very fast, gliding, smooth horse. The rich love them because they can drink their champagne or their soda and it won't overflow. When right. So for me to put a child up there, they think they're really moving. They think they're on a racehorse. And with just a slight pull on the rope, it gets their withers, which is this part right here, this high part on their shoulders, to pop and move. So a child with a brain problem, traumatic brain injury or something, we're able to get their endorphins to fire. We're able to get words. We've gotten words out of a child for the first time in their life on the very first ride. Sometimes it takes us a couple months. We had one child, 15 words in a 3-word sentence in the first 5 minutes of ever being on a horse. You can't tell me these aren't magical animals. Once again, it's not me. It's the movement and how we do it at the heart of the horse. Then you have this horse right here. This is a quarter horse. The quarter horse mimics our gait, the way we walk. We walk just like a quarter horse. Our shoulders walk back and forth for some big movement. But that's the way a quarter horse moves. So a child who's never put feet on the ground and walked will feel what it feels like when they're on a horse. Exactly what it feels like for your upper body to move. And we're able to give them an example of why they want to get better. Then we have the Arab horse. The Arab horse is a fast-moving, just a steam train of a little horse. And they tend to make you rock back and forth as you're trying to catch your balance. A good rider puts about 30% on the legs and the rest on the butt, and well, not on the rest, but about 20% on their butt, and then the rest comes up here to keep you going. So for a child that has less muscle mass here, and we put them on an Arab, boy, that's the best thing for them. Now they're getting an involuntary upper body workout that they will, I should say mid body, that they've never had before. And then we have thoroughbreds, and we have other horses that have a bigger pull movement that causes you to do this. And that's why you see these people, they ride tight on them and they stay on the face. It's a balancing point that they have. But we don't want our kids to depend on that balancing point. We let the movement of the horse and their own balancing points on their body help them to get stronger. Does that make sense to you guys? Does anybody have any questions?
So, again, just to reiterate what you will be doing as a volunteer at Heart of the Horse is just what is being done in the demonstration. So, sidewalking, just assisting everything to get the job done as it's prescribed by Guy and Carrie, as it's prescribed by all kinds of doctors and folks that they work with, can be speech pathologists, can be all kinds of orthopedic doctors, a whole host of things, again, people rather, that you'll be working with to basically help those kids and adults achieve success. So you don't have to know anything about horses to be successful as a volunteer.
And then I'm going to let Carrie explain to you what you need to do. And this isn't a rodeo. You're not going to show up in booty shorts. And you know, we're very moderate in the way we dress. So I'm going to let her explain it to you.
Yeah, so we are an actual organization, and we do have a reputation to uphold. And so I do have a really, really strict volunteer or dress code, and that's in the information I'll send if you do contact us. I believe there's the form.
Yes,
right?
There's very specific instructions under your service learning tab in terms of a connection with Heart of the Horse and exactly how you would proceed if you want to volunteer with Guy and Carrie.
Okay, so the best way to contact me is email, and that's on that information sheet that Ms. Gansey was talking about. And then I will send you an email with the volunteer rules, a liability form, and our hours of operation. And then what I need back is your exact days and times that you can volunteer. I don't track your hours. I'll know when you're there and when you're not there, but I don't keep track of your hours. So I have to know. So if you told me, well, I can do every Wednesday from 9 to 12. Well, every Wednesday till when? Because I'm not going to keep track of when you've put in your 10 hours. That's for you guys to do. I can't do it with, working with 50 to 70 volunteers. So I need exact days and hours.
What the availability is.
Of what your availability is as to when we're open. So, but I'll send the hours, and I will put in there that we're closed like for Thanksgiving. So if you haven't gotten most of your hours in by Thanksgiving, you may not get them all in because we're not open. A lot of people wait till Thanksgiving break because you're off, but we're not open. So, and then we do have a couple of events coming up where if you've been with us for a couple times in October, we will be out at Valley Children's Hospital on October 19th. We actually work with the children there. But if it's your first time, I won't have you come to the hospital because we need,
come watch.
We need you out there at the ranch to see what we do. And then we have a big fundraiser October 20th, which is actually the next day. And we need extra hands in there serving food or doing whatever. But
it's a great opportunity to work with the organization and the horses, and that all counts because globally, what we want you to learn is what it does for society and how that you can integrate that in terms of lifelong learning, right? And so continue to do that. So There are a lot of things that they do that you can be involved in, and that counts for your hours.
Also, don't expect that we will have you do your 10 hours and then kick you out the door. We tell people, if you want your parents to come and see, we've had, if you're not 18 and you have to have your parents sign, we'll help you with that. But it's a safe place. We don't allow no hanky-panky. It's a safe place for you to get away. We don't want you to ever, I can't tell you how many sorry, I keep saying young ladies, just so many of them have come to us with problems they're having where they live, or with somebody, and we'll help them work it out. It's not our job, but if your parents aren't with you and you're from another state or another town, we're more than happy to help you.
It's a beautiful place.
We want this to be a family organization, and you be part of our family.
So one thing is I'm non-existent a whole lot because my office is up in the house, and the more lack of communication I have with the students, the less I get to be down at the barn, because now I'm going back and forth. I could do 100 emails a day because things aren't, there's not good communication. I would like to be able to get to know you also. Half the time people don't even know I exist except through an email. But if I could, if we had good communication and I had you on the schedule, then I could be down enjoying what we actually do, and getting to know you guys also. Sometimes there's not a face to my name. I'm a signature on an email.
You guys are very special to us. Like I said, Fresno State volunteers are the heart and soul of Heart of the Horse Therapy Ranch. And you'll learn that it's not all about the money, because I don't make a dime. We live off of $1,700. She's our only paid employee. We've not made this about making money. You'll see a beautiful truck and trailer. That stuff all goes away. Heart of the Horse goes away. That stuff leaves us. We don't own anything. We lost everything between 2008 and 2009. Our homes, our business. The only thing we have left is Daisy and the clothes on our back and some furniture. And God has put us in a different place in our life, and we are doing something totally different. But we've always been around horses. You'll notice a picture of us at the age of 17 in the barn on horses. So we've been riding together most of our lives.
I'm only 30, so I don't know what you're
Me too. So, Guy, will you tell them just a little bit about the recent awards that you have won and the recognition that you have gotten? It's fantastic.
We received in 2013 the Hands-On Hero Award by from Fresno, First Five Fresno County, and mine went blank. Far as I know, and what I was told is that it says my name on it, but it's the ranch. Was the only non-doctor to ever receive that. Since then, we've got other awards, but here's some major ones. We were a 2016 California Nonprofit of the Year. What's significant about that is that there are 78,000 nonprofits in California, and each year they pick 70 to get that award. And most of them are very high-powered Boys and Girls Club, or whatever, that win these awards. And not some little podunk ranch out of Clovis, California. And then last year, in 2017, along with Levi Strauss and Knott's Berry Farm, we won the California Image Award. They take these very high-powered companies throughout California, they nominate 10 of them, and 3 of them get this award. And so, like I said, Levi Strauss, huge company. Knott's Berry Farm, huge company. And once again, little podunk ranch in Clovis, California Image Award winner. Now, it's not all about me. That's about you guys too. President Castro knows everything that we do. We see him on airplanes. We talk to him every now and then. Him and his wife are wonderful to us. We also are getting a recognition by the City of Clovis. I'm gonna let Carrie tell you more about that one. Carrie?
She's chasing
Dragging this.
Daisy.
Oh, Miss Daisy. Come on, Daisy.
So we got a letter in July, and unbeknownst to us, we had no idea Clovis, the city of Clovis, has a Hall of Fame. And we are being inducted into the Clovis Hall of Fame for, they call it the Friends of Youth, for what we do in the community and at our ranch for children. So we had no idea.
Fantastic.
We've also been in the Wall Street Journal, the LA Times, pretty much every TV station there is in Central California. We're at a Raiders game. Go Raiders, come on, baby. They got silver and black hair. We're at a Raiders game a couple of years ago. They're talking about these guys have been beating on their wives. And so they're interviewing people. And I noticed the cameraman pointing at me. And I'm thinking, what is he pointing at? The only thing behind me is my cousin's car. And ain't nothing else back there. We got this big old pop-up. He comes up to me after, or the gal does, and says, "You're from the Heart of the Horse Therapy Ranch." She goes, "We watched a thing on Heart of the Horse this morning. Can we do an interview?" If you don't know anything about Bay Area news, KTVU is the spot. And to get on 15 seconds at an 11 o'clock news is pretty spectacular. My Facebook and phone blew up. We got a full 2-minute interview. So people are noticing us. We were just in South Dakota, Wyoming, and Montana. We ran into people that knew of the ranch. We hung out with this guy, Chuck Carroll, for a while and found out he's from the Bay Area. He lives in Tennessee. And he called his sister to tell her about us. And lo and behold, his nephew was one of our guys.
Wow.
So, I mean, we're pretty lucky. We've been in Stars and Stripes all over the world. That's a military newspaper. We've been on the front page of the Fresno Bee, which got us front page recognition all over the country in a lot of newspapers. So, like I say, it's not us, it's all of us together as a community that helps these kids. And it's not us that gets the recognition, it's us all together, Fresno State, volunteers, that get all that recognition also. So,
Hey Guy, you're not
Yes.
allowed to call it podunk anymore. I'm
Podunk.
gonna ban you from saying that. Just in closing, before we thank you and sign off, Carrie, what are your scheduled orientation days and times, if you would?
I don't have orientations. We do it when they come out.
Okay, so you don't have a block, so
I
it's
don't.
as you, okay.
I don't.
All right, well, great. So
We're
I just
crazy.
learned something after all of this time. So
It's pretty much hands-on
okay.
training when they get there.
Perfect.
Guy will go over everything. I mean, I lay out, the do's and don'ts, and the way they need to dress. That's all in writing, and then, everything with the horse needs to be hands-on. So,
Great.
the reason we do that is in life, I mean, you can learn as much as you want in college, but until you actually touch something, then you start learning the real facts of things. And if you're going to be a vet tech, we will help you find a vet to work for. We will do our best to help you get those hands-on experiences that is going to double the education they're going to get. It's pretty awesome.
Well, I'm going to sign off for the online students, and we're going to close it up. And so thank you both so very much for coming out and bringing Bandit and Daisy. Hey,
Sassy.
Daisy.
We brought enough ice cream for 150, but they didn't show up. So.
That's right, exactly. No ice cream for all of you that didn't come.